Hi, welcome back to Unpack Cloud. So, in last demo session, we were looking into workload identity stuff with Terraform. Let's start again with our previous topic. So that's the diagram we are looking, and in our last demo session, we have created the OIDC provider in our shared services account. And in today's demo, I am going to create further pieces in this diagram. So last time we have created OIDC, and now I am going to create this TFC demo project, these OIDC roles and policies in shared services account, and also the assume roles for our deployment accounts in account 1 and account 2. And we will also see, we will also create the variable sets with this role ID, ARN, and workload identity, which later we will attach to our workspaces. So for now, what I have changed in this diagram is I have added the GitLab group. So basically, we need to have source repositories for our workspaces. So that's why with the creation of this project, I'm going to also create the GitLab group. And in that GitLab group, we will have our source repositories, which will host the code for these workspaces. So let's jump into our code. So here's our code repository, which we have seen in our last demo session. It's Terraform AWS TFC setup. We have seen the TFC agent, and we have last time seen the OIDC provider. And now I have created two more modules in this repository. So let's first just check about the creation of project in TFC and also the OIDC roles in our shared services account. So what I'm talking about is we are going to create this project, the GitLab group, and also the OIDC role and assume policy in our shared services account. So the code for this is in the main.tf, we have a simple resource which is creating our TFC project, and then it is going to create variable set. And in this variable set, it is going to add two variables, one variable with the role ARN, and the second will be with the audience. So the audience will be same for our workflow, AWS workload identity, and the role, let's check in a moment. And this is the GitLab group which I am talking about. We wanted to host our repositories, workspace repositories into this GitLab group, so that's why I'm going to create this group. So yeah, that's the main file, and now the OIDC role. So that's the role, AWS IAM role, and this is the name of this role. So now this role has a trust relationship policy. What it is saying basically allow action on this federated identity. The federated identity is our OIDC provider, which we have created in our last demo session. So that's the URL for this OIDC provider, and we will pass the Terraform domain for this. And the condition here is important. So our audience is this AWS workload identity, and our substitute for this trust relationship is so what basically this role is saying allow the authentication for this organization and for this project. So when somebody have this role, and it belongs to this organization, and it belongs to this project, so allow them to authenticate with AWS. And you can see here the workspace is static and run phase is static. What does this mean? So in our project, whatever the workspace will be or whatever the run phase will be, it will allow authentication for all of the workspaces in this project and in this organization. So that's the role we are going to create for in our shared services account, and this role will have this policy, and this policy is basically the in the diagram is this. So assume policy, which is allowing STS assume role action on the cross account roles. So basically I am passing this STS assume role action, and effect is allow, and for resource I am going to dynamically generate my resource. So you can see I am passing the account ID here and also the project name. So this policy will just assume the roles in our cross account. So that's the role and that's the policy, and this is our TFE project and GitLab group setting. Rest of the files are pretty much similar variables and versions. So let's just deploy this code. I'm going to my live main repository, and here I'm going to main.tf file. So let's just for now comment this. First deploy our GitLab group and OIDC role. I'm going to my terminal. I'm in my live repository. So tf init, tf validate, tf plan. So it's going to generate 7 resources, and which are pretty much similar. So you can see here in the IAM role we have the audience and subject. So our organization will be Einfach Cloud and our project will be demo, because I am passing here some variables. For example, my TFC project name will be demo, my organization name and domain name is coming from the local file. Here, app.terraform.io is TFC host, and my organization name is Einfach Cloud. And this is the GitLab parent group ID. So basically, you need to create a root GitLab group, and in that root group, we will be able to create nested groups. So my parent GitLab group ID is this. So I can also show you in the console. So this is my GitLab account, and in this GitLab account, I have this Einfach Cloud as parent group, and in this parent group, I am going to create the demo project. And another setting, you can see the GitLab group ID, which is I am just passing in my code. So that's the parent group, and I'm going to create my nested group in this group for the demo project. And here you can see I am passing the accounts for the policy to assume roles in other cross accounts. So these are two my AWS accounts I am using. So let's just deploy this code. So we have our plan here, right? So we are this is the subject part. This is important. So organization Infa Cloud project demo and workspace static and run phase static. Next we have this policy, which is allowing STS assume role action on the cross account roles. So these are my cross accounts roles. And we have a GitLab group, we have TFC project, we have two variables, and we have variable set. So let's just deploy that. So basically we are deploying our OIDC roles and assume policy in shared services account, and we are creating TFC variable set with this role ARN, and we are creating our TFC project and GitLab group. So our resource creation is complete. Let's just check our resources. So first in Terraform Cloud, we under the projects, yeah, we can see we have a demo project here, right? And in the settings tab under variable sets, you can see we have also demo TFC OIDC vars. So this variable set contains two variables, one with the role ARN and the second is this predefined variable. So this role ARN is what we have created in our shared services account, right? OIDC role ARN. So now let's just check that role. So I'm going to my shared services account. So you can see here shared services under the IAM. I'm going to roles, and if I refresh TFC demo, yeah, so that's my role name, TFC demo OIDC assume role, and you can see it is passed in that um, TFE variable set variable TFC demo OIDC assume role, and that's the ARN TFC demo OIDC assume role. So under the trust relationship, we have already seen that we wanted to use Infra Cloud as our organization, demo project, and workspaces under that project, all of the workspaces. And under the permission tab, you can see we have also attached this policy, this one, and this policy is basically saying allow STS assume role action on these two resources. So these are our cross account roles. We are gonna create these roles in a moment. So yeah, this we have created this OIDC provider. We now have completed the OIDC role and assume policy setup in shared services account. We have our TFC project, and we have a dedicated GitLab group for this TFC project, and let's just check that also. So if I go to my parent group, and here you can see GitLab group for demo project. So I have this nested GitLab group under this my parent group. So yeah, we have completed quite a bit pieces, and now let's just jump into the creation of these cross account roles and the policy for these roles, because we have seen our policy in the shared services account. Our policy is saying assume roles in these accounts. So let's just create those roles now. I'm going back to my editor, and here you can see I have my under my TFC setup module, I have another module which is called cross account roles. So this module is going to create the role and policy in the cross accounts. So it's pretty simple. We have a IAM role, and the trust relationship for this role is it is um, it is going to trust on our OIDC role in our shared services account. So this role will gonna trust on our OIDC role. So that's the trust relationship here. And the policy we are going to create is for this role is will be admin policy. So basically we are giving admin permission for this role in this account and also in this account. So yeah, that's a simple module which is going to create IAM role and IAM policy in our cross accounts. And yeah, pretty other files are pretty much similar. So let's just jump into our live demo repository, and in the main file, I'm going to uncomment this module. And these are our cross account roles. So let's just check that. So right now I'm using this cross account roles modules as my source. And here you can see I have created providers for my cross accounts. So account 1 and account 2. And you can see I am passing the TFC project as a input, which is coming from this module, because this module has when it will create our TFC project, then it will output the TFC project as a map, which will contain the project ID, name, organization name, a variable set which we have created, and the role ARN, the OIDC role ARN in the shared services account, right? So which is so this is so in we are just passing the TFC project which is coming from this module output as an input to our role, so that we can create um, our role and policy in cross accounts. So that's the two modules I'm going to create: account 1 and account 2 role. And you can see the policy here. So I have created a template for the policy. So this is, as I have said, just this is the admin policy, which is allowing every action on every resource, so kinda admin rights. So these two modules are pretty much similar. The difference is one is going to create a role in account one, and the second is going to create a role in account two. Let's just also check the providers. So I have created the AWS provider for account one and for account two, and both of these providers are going to use profiles which I have already set up in my .aws directory. So profile with account one, profile with account two, so that my roles can be deployed successfully. And now let's just deploy our cross account roles. I'm going to back to my terminal, tf init, tf validate, tf plan. So yeah, it is going to add four resources in our two accounts. So I am role for account one, which will going to trust on our OIDC role in shared services, and it has admin policy attached. Next is our account 2 role, which is also going to trust on OIDC role in our shared services account, and it also has admin policy attached. So let's just deploy that. So our resources are added. Now let's head it back to our accounts. So this is our shared services account. This is our TFC OIDC assume role, which we have seen, right? And now I am going to log in into my account one. Here you can see account one, and this is account two. So under the roles tab, refresh, and let's search about demo. So yeah, we have our TFC demo account assume role. Under a trust relationship, you can see it is going to trust on our TFC demo OIDC role in our shared services account. 7619 is the shared services account ID. It has permission for the admin access. And under the account 2, pretty much similar. So demo. So this account also has trust relationship to trust on our OIDC role in our shared services account, and it has permission for admin access. So yeah, um, so basically now we have created our OIDC provider in shared services account. We have a OIDC role and assume policy in shared services account, and in our cross account, for example, account one and account two, we have created the um, assume roles and with admin access policy. And in TFC cloud, we have a TFC project and TFC variable set, which is containing the ARN for this role. And we have a GitLab dedicated group for our project, which will host the source code for our workspaces. And we already have TFC agent in Terraform Cloud. Now the remaining step is in my later demo session, I will create these workspaces, account one and account two, and then I will also create the repositories in GitLab group for these workspaces, and then we will deploy some code. For example, we will create S3 bucket in our multiple accounts, cross accounts, account one and account two, using this OIDC setup. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this demo session. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.